morning, 5th grade parents. I'm Miss Gandenberger. I am the math and science teacher here in the 5th grade, and this is going to be your Meet the Teacher video for my two classes. So we're going to talk a little bit about math and science. First, a little bit about me. I graduated from St. James in 2009, so I did go here. I went to St. James all 1st grade through 8th grade. And I had several teachers who are still in the building, so I was in your child's shoes not too long ago. I love teaching math and science. This is my 3rd year at St. James and my 4th year teaching overall. I taught 1st grade for a year, and I've been in 5th grade here at St. James ever since. So let's get started. So our curriculum. We did get a new math series this year, a new series of textbooks, but our curriculum and the things we teach in the 5th grade is the same. So we will learn place value first. We always start our year there. It's really important to get that good foundation. We move into multiplying and dividing whole numbers, which should be slightly a review and slightly some new stuff from last year. We will talk about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. We will talk about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimals. And there's some other things thrown in there, order of operations, graphing, some things like that. And then we will do measurement and geometry this year also. So, assignments in math. I assign math homework generally every night, except for Fridays and leading up to tests sometimes. Instead of giving written math homework leading up to a test, I might give some pages for them to review or tell them they can do some practice problems, things like that. I post all my assignments on Google Classroom. This is a change from what we've done in the past. So if you've had a student already go through math and science with me, we used to always post on Plus Portals. But this year, all of our classwork and all of our homework will be posted on Google Classroom every day. So that's if your student is absent one day, they're home with just a cough or something, they can get onto Google Classroom at the end of the day after I've posted things and see a list of classwork. So we did these pages in the book, the students worked on this in the workbook, and then they'll see homework. And they'll be able to do both the classwork they missed and the homework that's due. Homework can include incomplete classwork. This is going to be especially important if I feel a student is not using their time wisely and they're not getting something done that should have been done in class. That could get added to their homework, and that might extend the time that they have to spend on math homework. So I really encourage them to use their time wisely in class to reduce the amount of math homework they have at night. Homework is practice, so I don't take it for a grade. That doesn't mean I don't check it. I might collect it and check it every once in a while, but it won't show up in Plus Portals as, oh, they got a 1 out of 5 on their homework, right? Homework is just practice, but it's important, and it's practice that should be done well with fidelity. So it's not practice if you're going home and using a calculator. It's only practice if you're going home and doing it the way we've done it in school. Consistently incomplete homework, even though it won't be in the grade book for a grade, could affect a participation grade. So you might see incomplete homework factored into a participation grade on the report card. And as a 5th grade team, we try to make sure that students do not have too many tests on the same day. We have a big calendar in the hallway outside of our rooms where each of us writes when we have a test scheduled, and we try to make sure that we don't double up too often. It does happen sometimes that we have to double up because we try not to give tests on Mondays, and we can't really give tests on Wednesdays if we have church because the schedules are too short. So sometimes it's inevitable, and they might have 2 tests on one day or a test and a quiz, but we try really hard to make sure that it doesn't become excessive where they have a test for every class on the same day, because we don't want to overwhelm them. Okay, so science. The science curriculum in the 5th grade is really fun. I always like to tell the kids we don't really have anything that I think is boring science. We do start out our year with a review of the scientific method and discussing the engineering and design process, which is kind of bare bones basic review stuff that they get a little bit of every year, but we do take it up a notch from what they did in the 4th grade. We do a unit on the solar system and space, which is always a favorite among the 5th graders. We do 2 chapters about ecosystems, animal adaptations, predators and prey, carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, all that stuff. We have a chapter about motion, a chapter about different types of energy, chapter about light and sound waves. And then at the very end of the year, we do a health chapter, and I work with Miss Merritt to do this, and it's our family life chapter. So this is when we talk to the students about how their bodies are going to change as they get older. In religion class, Miss Merritt talks a lot about the Catholic Church and how to use your body in a godly way and all of that stuff. And in my class, we talk a lot about the anatomy, the reproductive systems, really like health-oriented things about like hygiene and things like that. And I know the students always kind of freak out when they hear that that's coming this year, but I do my best to make sure that it is as comfortable as possible. I know that it's uncomfortable for them to talk about things like that, but it's really important as they get older to understand how to take care of their bodies, what's going to happen to their body, and how they can be responsible with their body. So assignments in science. In science, I only give homework about once a week. Could be less, could be a little more, but generally we do a lot of our work in class for science. However, students should be spending some time studying vocabulary terms and keywords. There are a couple chapters this year that have a lot of similar vocabulary, and I do warn the students about those chapters. But it's always a good idea, if you have extra time in your evening with your kids, pull out the science book, look up the vocab for the chapter we're working on, and quiz them a little bit and see if they know them. Again, assignments for science will be posted on Google Classroom, could include incomplete classwork. Homework is practice, won't be taken for a grade, but consistently incomplete homework could affect a participation grade. Same thing as math. And again, we try to make sure that students do not have multiple tests on the same day. There's one other thing here that was not on my math slides. It's that group projects may be assigned but will never require students to get together outside of school. Now, currently in our world with the way things are, group projects are probably not going to be a thing in my class. I just don't see a way that that could work. But I did want to mention, in case things drastically change between now and the end of the year, if I do ever give a group project, I ensure that everything can get done during class and they don't have to get together on the weekends because they're busy, you're busy, they have too much going on to try and squeeze in 3 hours on a Saturday to go to someone's house and work on a science project. Individual projects that I give just to each student might have to get worked on at home though. And some communication, so this is where we're going to end. My email is right there on the screen. You can always call St. James and they will patch you through to my extension, and you can leave me a message on my phone. You can send in a written note. And if you have a Twitter and you'd like to follow my teacher Twitter, I have a teacher Twitter. It's at Miss Gandenberger. And I tweet pictures of what's going on every once in a while. You can always tell the weeks when I get busy because it's when I don't post. And then all of a sudden I'm posting things again. But I do my best to make sure that I keep it current and that I'm putting up some fun pictures of things we're doing in the classroom. So if you're interested, you can follow me there. If you have any other questions that were not answered in this slide and were not answered in the document that we sent out with all of our teachers' information sheets on it, feel free to email me, call me, send me a note. Just let me know and I will try to answer your questions as best as I can. And I hope that this was helpful. Have a great night. Bye.